welcome. This is episode 2 of Tyleruns Admin Day Fun. Today we'll be going over Decentro and how to become a crypto bro in our favorite game, Tower Networking Inc. Let's get started. So, Decentro is the cryptocurrency of Tower Networking Inc. It does require some, I wouldn't say late game, but a bit later in your adventures, some specific people to be generated. So if we go into the surveyor, we're looking for some very specific people. We have people like the strategic investor. These are the people that want to send Decentro. If we don't have people that would like to send Decentro, it's not really worth starting to use Decentro. The tower worker is another person that likes to send Decentro. And as long as we have people that want to do this, we can begin making our Bitcoin empire. So, starting out, we're going to want to head over to the Rocket Store, and you are going to need to grab the Decentro meter. This app is the basic manager for Decentro. It gives you everything that you need to know. So on the first menu, this is all of our active nodes. I've only got the one Decentro node right here, and you can see here's the hardware ID, and here's the hardware address. If we hover over, we can confirm they match. On the screen, it'll show you how many times it has processed a coin, and then it will show how many accessible currencies that node can access. If we go to the safes, which is the second option, this will show you the different wallets that you have. It's a bit weird that they call them safes while the program is called a wallet, but these are your wallets. If you do not have a Decentro wallet running on a server that has Decentro collector and a power outage happens, all of the cryptocurrency that is currently stored will be lost forever. With a safe installed, it basically retains that cryptocurrency even through a power outage. Obviously, if the server blows up, it won't matter. You're losing that currency. Third tab is the exchange. This is where you can actually sell or buy cryptocurrencies. The only one, obviously, being Decentro. So currently, I have 220 currency. The reason I have 220 currency is because each of these servers can hold a max of 30 currency. And the way that that's calculated is via memory. So if I do a watch and I go over to one of these collectors, you can see that we are running Decentro Wallet and Decentro Collector. These are refurbished Boulder Pluses, so you can get them extremely cheap. You don't have to worry about the warranty. You don't have to worry about the reliability. You're temporarily storing Decentro on these things to sell the Decentro. So, as we can see, looking over on the left by the memory used, I'm using 3 of 8 memory to run these two programs. So, the remaining memory is 5. Every single piece of memory can store 6 cryptocurrency. So, 6 times 5, 30. So, each of these servers can store 30 crypto. So, going back to the Decentrometer, we could see that the current accessible currency is fluctuating. It's just because of the way that I have this set up. The Decentro node has to be able to access all of the vaults in order to have this number right here. If it loses connection to the vaults, for some reason, it'll drop this number. But as you can see, we can sell currency for $24. So I have 230 currency at $24. This is going to be a big sell. Obviously, there is a fee to sell. So it is about 6. So in actuality, probably about 18 a piece. So in order to actually do that, we come down here to this trade menu. We select our node. So 75292. It has access to 234 crypto. We're going to sell our crypto for 234 and execute order. So that executed the order. You see that the price dropped significantly. So now this will start regaining crypto as people start buying crypto from us. So basically, we're copying their coin, and we're they're buying their coins off of us. Sorry, they're selling their coins to us for free, basically. I prefer thinking that we're copying their coins just because it's more fun, but obviously this is crypto. That shouldn't be possible. It's just more of a fun way of thinking about it. So, as you could see, we're starting to process again. The only way that we get these is by somebody selling us the coins. So, over time, this number will go back up, but we go to my credit stack and we look at our transactions. We sold 234 Decentro for $5,610. So Decentro over time can easily generate a lot of money. Easily generate a lot of money. So you want as many vaults as you can have per node so that you can make sure that you sell at a high rate. Obviously, the exchange number won't really change. So you're really limited by the amount of vaults you can connect up to a node. If we do a watch over on the node, we could see that its network load is only 8 out of 40. It can only produce 10. So technically, we could make a lot more vaults. I have 7 vaults here. That's why the number's constantly at 7, is because I have that many things connected to this switch. If we were to add another rack, copy this over here, we could have 14 vaults. But because we are connecting switches to each other, we're going to get some weird stuff going on. So we just got to be careful with that. But from here, obviously, we're at 8 of 40. We need to be careful not to overload the servers, though, which are at network load of 28. If we hit 28, these will overload. So the max theoretical that we can really probably have, this can only support 10 transactions. So let's do 28 minus 10. We can only have 18 vaults max. Based on that quick math, you just got to figure out the switches. 18 vaults is a lot of vaults, and it will allow you to store a lot of crypto. Now, the reason that I'm using the switch to connect these is TCP 833 communications is required both directions. So the node itself needs to be able to receive that traffic from the floors over to the node, and it needs to be able to reach the vaults via TCP 8333. So both directions need to be able to reach each other via that port. So putting it up behind a router, not really possible because both directions require the route. If we go back to Nutch and we watch again, you can see that we have Decentro Wallet and Decentro Collector. Should have those on every server. And then the only real way to get a Decentro node is to actually buy this piece of hardware. I can't really find any pieces of hardware that would support this, and there's really no reason to, because this is a decently cheap piece of hardware. Going back, I have created a firewall over here, and the sole reason of this firewall is to stop the feedback of the switch from hitting the router. If I were to watch this router, we could see that its traffic is basically super low. If I were to directly connect this guy down to it, the traffic will increase because it's accepting all those packets, even though it's dropping them out. It's not really doing me good service right now showing. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like this was showing a lot more network load earlier when I was testing. And now we're down to 1. Now we're down to 0. Yeah, so basically I'm reducing the amount of hits on the router. Yeah, we're back up. It's not a lot of hits, but hits are hits, you know? So I have a firewall here. If I do firewall show on, let's see, 1-F1, we can see default policies deny. We obviously have our management interface, which is TCP/23. The only thing that's happening is at C1 is allowed to send traffic to the node, and then the node is allowed to receive TCP E333 traffic. The vaults don't need to be accessed by customers. The only thing that needs to be accessed by customers is the node. So this is handling taking the customers, shipping them over, and then it's also handling preventing this back feed of packets to the router. This is just a DNS. This is me. And that's really all there is to Decentro. It's a extremely simple thing. Only other thing that I would show is the actual domain name. You need to register a domain for facilitate P2P transactions. The max you can do this at is 0.2 per use. So you're generating a bit of profit from this, and you're generating the profit from Decentro. In the time that I have been talking, we've already generated an additional 73 Decentro, and this is off of one person. There's only one person buying my crypto right now, or selling me crypto, or letting me copy their crypto, whatever you want to say. So the more people you have sending Decentro, the faster this number goes up. But also, you have to be careful of the selling value. We don't want to crash it too hard. So, more vaults, the better. That's really all there is to it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.